let's dive right in. Welcome back to the Good Music Show. We got more 2024 music. We're talking on this bonus episode. Last week we covered two of our favorite albums from this year, and today we're going to do a kind of what's on our radar rundown, shout out some albums that we like, some songs, and then we're going to do like three songs from projects that, you know, didn't make the cut of favorite album, but definitely we wanted to throw at each other to see what we think, and just generally shout out to our listeners. And hey, you know what? Feel free to chime in with your favorite 2024 music throughout the whole year. And, you know, I think we're definitely going to do a 2024 year in review at the end of the year. So, you know, we might read your thoughts on the episode where we do that. So keep that in mind.
Well, it depends on if the Donald wins again. If he does,
we find out.
Yeah.
Oh God, I just realized that we find that out before the end of the year.
Yeah. So if he wins, we're going to become a political podcast for the rest of our run until he's out again. Okay. We're going to be doing recaps of InfoWars.
That was my live reaction to that. It's an election year, by the way. I knew it, and I knew it, but I didn't oh my God, that's in. Well, it's in 5 months.
It's not soon.
We got some time.
Yeah. It's just more of what's funny for you is when it's like election year, I'm always thinking about it. Every fucking day I'm thinking about it.
I mean, I'm thinking about it in the sense that it's I'm still in that's down the road. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But yeah, we're coming to that bridge pretty soon. So it just hit me.
But either way, we're definitely gonna do it in year.
Yeah. So let's just kind of, if you're good with it, we'll just kind of trade off. We'll throw off. So I kind of organized my rundown as what's hot and what's not, because I did have a couple disappointments that came out this year. So Julius, why don't you kick it off? Throw something out there.
Yeah, something that's hot is the Challengers mixed by Boys Noise. It's a film soundtrack that's better than the film, and the film is incredible. Oh. And something that is not hot is the Heart Part 6, which makes me very sad. And I kind of wish he never released it. And the classic phrase, if you don't got nothing nice to say, don't say it. I wish OVO told Drake that about the Heart Part 6.
The Heart Part, that's Drake's song, right?
Yeah, it's the last response in the beef.
Oh, right, yeah. That was where he was like, well, if I did do it, if I was a pedophile, you would have caught me by
How could I be a pedophile?
Because I'm so bad at crime.
Yeah,
that's a good thing for a rapper to say.
And name drops Millie Bobby Brown. He falsely accuses Kendrick of being molested and proves that he maybe has never heard a Kendrick album after Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah, what's the future of Drake going forward? Because I feel like it. I mean,
I feel like once he's
gonna be fine. That's my gut feeling.
I think people,
but he shouldn't.
Drake is very lucky that the general population is stupid. So
that's
I think as long as he drops a new album, he'll be fine. I don't think that makes it less of a victory for Kendrick, because at the end of the day, this beef was never going to end Drake's career. Yeah. Beefs don't end careers when it's between two titans. Nas and Jay-Z were never going to end each other's career. And that's how I felt people should feel the same way about Kendrick and Drake. Because with Kendrick and Meek Mill, that threw Meek Mill off, because Meek Mill is a C-list rapper. And Pusha T, his career would have been thrown off if Drake was able to do the same thing to him. But we got two A-list rappers who are both capable of getting the entire country's attention and ears, where Drake dropping a new album and going number one does not discount the incredible work that Kendrick did in this beef. Because I do think that is what's going to happen. I don't think Drake is going to flop anymore. I think he's just going to do a few subliminals every now and then just go back to ripping off whatever new genre is trending.
Yeah.
While also dissing Only Woman from here on.
And people are still going to listen to his music, Drake's music.
I feel like his fans are never going to... His fans are the only thing that are going to be forever traumatized by this, because they're going to continue lying to themselves, saying things like, Kendrick got quotables, but Drake is more lyrical. Or Family Matters is actually the best song in the beef. Or, it was honestly over with push-ups. I don't know why we kept going. Because if you're telling yourself lies like that, then you're never really going to be happy in life. And that's just how I feel.
Well, to keep it on
sorry if that was very streamlined, by the way. I wrote, because you said just a few notes, I wrote these out trying to make sure they're not more than 2 sentences.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine. But keeping on the rap side of the things, Schoolboy Q's album Blue Lips that came out.
Oh yeah,
one of my favorites. Super solid. You got the Pop with Rico Nasty, who I've met.
Man,
if we ever do subscriptions to this podcast, I will make all subscribers have access to the video that I took with Rico Nasty, which I'm pretty sure I probably sent it to you, Julius, but I might have to resend it because I didn't know what to do, because I was like, hey, can you film a video for my sister Caitlin? Caitlin's the reason why I'm seeing you and I love you. So can you just give her a shout out? So I handed her my phone and she did a thing, and I was like freaking out. I had no idea what to do.
Yeah.
So I did this like face where I was like dancing to the music, and I was like, I know I look stupid, so I might as well just lean into it. I was like, and she just like started laughing.
Yeah, so which I mean, you made Rico Nasty laugh. That's fucking awesome. I always think Danny's the man.
Even
for
though I
had
experience. To make myself look stupid in the process, I'll take that. I'll take it for sure.
Yeah, but I'm glad you brought her up, because she's like, that's probably because Blue Lips I liked a lot too, but it's definitely like fell out of my rotation, and not because of its quality, just because so much has come out this year. And like, but that song Pop like stays in my head. It's like, because I think I've just been wanting another Rico Nasty song like that banger. In a while, like a banger. Because when she was hot, it was like she was untouchable.
Yeah, I was like the main thing I listened to at that point.
Yeah.
And I think like the reason why it's because it's an album experience for sure. It's not
definitely. You like
singles,
As much as I talk up the albums that I like I like listening to albums, like what keeps me up with most of the albums is when I can throw songs on playlists, and Blue Lips, like Danny said, is very cohesive, where it's weird to like take one part of it and just throw it and isolate it away from everything else.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, I always like, album experiences like that, and it's definitely a success to me.
Yeah.
You got Freddie Gibbs on the one track, and I think the standout is the I don't even know how to say it, Yearn 101.
Yeah, Yearn 101. That shit is so hard. He was going. The Kendrick concert was also just a couple days ago, and me and Danny watched it separately because we're divorced. And Schoolboy Q was going crazy when King Kuta came on, where that was like one of my favorite things to notice during it.
Yeah. All right. What else you got?
Also, I'll stick to just one, because I thought we were doing a what's hot, what's not. That's how you can tell I don't listen to the plan.
Oh,
but if you
I
want
didn't really
to
explain it well.
Yeah,
I just had I have a list, and some fall under the category as hot, and some fall under what's not.
That works, because I have way more hot than not. So I'll just start from the beginning again. I already talked about it a little bit in the previous episode, but Why Lord, which is the new No Worries album, NX Worries, in case you need it spelled for you, and in case you need it explained why you should care about No Worries. You know that song you hear in Target all the time, keeping the door open? Well, if you like that song and you want to hear him be a bit more of a dirtbag and a piece of shit, check out No Worries, because Anderson .Paak is at his best when he is an absolute piece of shit. I love it. It's my favorite kind of neo soul music, where when Yes Lord came out, I ran it back so many times. And what's funny is that I'm in a very wonderful relationship right now, and Anderson .Paak is going through a divorce on this album, so I shouldn't even really be able to even enjoy it that much. But it's kind of like, oh, this is what it could be if I was a piece of shit. So yeah, this is like I sound like I'm shit talking. I really do love this album. I love soul music when the artist is like bringing that like honest toxic energy into some really beautiful music, because a moment that I think I talked to a lot of my friends about already is I think it's hilarious that one of the breakup songs, he has Thundercat singing background harmonies on it, and then he has Thundercat do a whole verse about how his ex-wife's a bitch, which like I think is just so fucking scummy, but it's great.
Yeah, I distractedly I haven't gone through the whole thing, but I need to like sit down and like really listen to it like with headphones and stuff, because I've loved what I've heard so far. It sounds like they're back in full force, but I think the day it came out, I was like waiting around at a doctor's office for most of it. So but yeah, and I've also been prepping for this episode. So I'm definitely gonna check that out, and hopefully I'll have some thoughts later on. But I'll throw one out there. Another rap project was Mike's Tony Seltzer collaboration Pinball. I really enjoyed that. It's got a lot of fun to listen to songs, some energy, which is slightly different as far as I know from his last album, at least.
Like this one's a lot more. I'm trying to figure out the best way to describe it, but like, because it's not classic trap, because that's not. I don't want to start that as a genre. That's gonna become a fucking genre. But like, but it's very reminiscent of like DJ Toomp type production, like early Young Jeezy, early Ti, but like even like with a fresher finesse thrown onto it, where it still sounds real breathtaking, you know. And and I thought it was really cool that he did an album like this after Burning Desire, because Burning Desire I think is like his best record yet, and it's far from his best when he's done, because the kid is so young, where I know he has even better stuff ahead of him, but to drop an album that's like a whole different kind of sound to showcase his like range and stuff, it's great. And I've been like running it back constantly, like R&B, the fucking On God with Earl, like it's so much cool, crisp stuff, where I'm only sad that I saw him live a few months ago and he did 0 songs from this album, which I'm assuming maybe he's doing a tour with Tony Seltzer, but I was really sad by the end of it when I realized, he's not going to even do 1 song from it. But
yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Lethal Weapon is another great track that I like.
That beat's great.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff on there.
But one for me, another one that's hot is the most commercial I've been this year is being obsessed with the music of Chappell Roan. And you can check out her album that she dropped earlier this year, I believe, or late last year. I don't feel like checking. But you can also check out what would have been on my playlist, but it was really tough to like make room for this song as much as I love it. Good Luck Babe, which is like an incredible pop song that like just encapsulates all the things that make her a very unique talent. And it makes sense on why she's blowing up the way she is now. Where because a lot of people are like already going straight forward to the whole like, oh shit, industry plant, I never heard of her before, where did she come from? Where we could do a whole episode about why calling something an industry plant is stupid. I mean, the quickest way is just, was the music good? Yes. Okay, who cares? No. Fuck who. But like, you know, where her music's great, so who really cares? But at the end of the day, like, if she's an industry plant, the industry's doing a terrible fucking job, because it took like fucking 5 years to blow up, man. Shitty plant, if you ask me. Return this to Home Depot. But anyway, Good Luck Babe is a great song. Check it out if you haven't yet.
Yeah, I listened to it, but I can't remember too much about it. I have to say, I do like her whole look. It definitely gives me similar.
Well, the problem, Danny, is that you have to either be a lesbian from the Midwest or Julius Jefferson. So that's why you.
Yeah, I'm not invited to her concerts because I'm straight white male. But no, I think it. From the little I've heard, I need to dive in a little deeper to get to more clear thoughts. But I like what I've heard so far. It's definitely better pop than what is a lot out there.
Yeah.
So I will say one of my favorite albums this year. I guess there was a song, the title song from this album, Charley Crockett, $10 Cowboy. I almost put that on our 3-song playlist, but for some reason, I just decided it wouldn't work as well with the other songs. But I really enjoyed Charley Crockett. He's another great live act that I've been able to see. He does like a lot of straight up country, but also a lot of like soul and like kind of like that swampy blues stuff. And this project is him kind of. Oh, it's almost kind of like a victory lap. I mean, we talk about the concept of a victory lap a lot, but it's him. He's blowing up. His concerts are selling out. He put out a live album from the Ryman Auditorium last year, which was fantastic. His touring band is insanely tight. And this is kind of like him reflecting on how he got to this point. You know, in the title track, $10 Cowboy, he says, back when I was performing on the street corners, $10 was a lot of money. And it just kind of is him. It's just like a really catchy blues track that will have you saying, "I'm a $10 cowboy" all day.
I'm already sold. This sounds awesome.
He's a really cool guy. I recommend you at least check out that song. But his discography is all super solid. I would say there's nothing on there that I would like point to as the masterpiece, because it's all just good and great stuff. And if you like bluesy stuff and you like country, it's like exactly what you want. And he does a lot of covers as well. He does like full on cover albums as well. His output is really prolific. He's got a lot of releases over the years. So this was just another entry into that long discography that is all super solid. So
good shit.
But nothing like blow your mind level. Like, so that's the only reason why it's not featured on the playlist or as the album of the year. So.
Oh yeah. I got another one that's a bit mean where Gambino re-released his White Album. I'm calling it that because it's frustrating to call the original one, whatever it's called. And in my opinion, it's a lot worse, where it has a new good song, Human Sacrifice. Human Sacrifice is a phenomenal track that was a leak for a few years, so it was really cool to see it finally get released. But I'm just sad and very bitter because my favorite Gambino song was on that White Album. It's a very long Prince-type track with 21 Savage on it. I talked about it a bit on our episode where we talk about the artist that I was talking about from that episode.
Oh, yeah, Allison Russell. We actually cut that out.
Oh yeah, we did cut that out. Yeah,
we cut that bit out. So you can
don't
can talk
smoke
about
weed,
it
kids. but like, what? Where I was talking about, like, I like when albums have Prince songs or whatever. I asked for Dan to cut it out because I felt like talking about Gambino could lead to a rant, like I'm doing right now. But anyway, I like that 21 Savage song a lot. It sounds. It literally hurts. It hurts my soul. Where if you really need a specific reference on how it makes me feel, there's a really Madman has an amazing 5th season, and it introduces probably my favorite character in the show, Ginsburg, who's this like really quirky Holocaust survivor that gets hired there. And there's a part where like they're trying to like emulate the Beatles for a commercial, so they hire a band that sounds like the Beatles, and Don, Ken, I think Pete and Ginsburg are listening to it. And like Ginsburg's the youngest, where he knows what the Beatles are. He gets why the Beatles are what they are, and they're all just like, "Yeah, it's fine, it's cool, it's quirky." And Ginsburg's like, "It's like a fucking knife in the heart." Like that's kind of how hearing this new version feels.
Turn it off! It's stabbing me in the fucking heart.
Cursing.
Yeah.
So that's a not for me in 2024. This is re-release.
I'll throw out another not for me is an artist that I've loved ever since I first heard her, but she's kind of taken a turn that I am not on board with. It's Kacey Musgraves, better known as the golden hour on the Apple 100, better than Nina Simone, I think. I don't know. She had a funny placement on that. It was like in the later side of it. But anyway, Kacey Musgraves, she put out an album called Deeper Well, and there's a song on there called Lonely Millionaire. And as much as that song is kind of like, I guess you could call it self-aware, but like, that's just what the whole album is to me, is like, she is very successful. She has another song called The Architect, which is like a metaphor for like speaking to the, like, can I speak to the architect as in like the creator of the universe? Like thinking about life in this kind of like Instagram deep way of like, and she has another song, Jade Green, like very like crystal, like healing energy. Like, I don't know. Like I'm all for like, you know, like the whole magic mysticism stuff or whatever. But like this album just falls really flat because I don't know, maybe it's the production. It sounds too expensive, or her voice. It just doesn't have any grit or soul, or it doesn't have enough for me. Like she's got a good voice. It's just like not enough for me to, in this album, it just, every song kind of sounds the same and I'm not with it. And again, like she's extremely successful and has this, like I always see on her Instagram, like she's got this insanely nice house, but she's like, oh, I'm relatable. Like I have ADHD and I didn't fold my laundry this week. I'm like, you have a team. Like I don't feel bad for you. You have a team. You have one person that does your makeup. You have one person that does your hair. You have one person that, you know, like, I'm sorry, I don't feel bad for you anymore. Like you used to have, you know, these really actual, genuinely relatable songs that were like funny and quirky and like, you know, kitschy and campy, which I really liked. But now it's just kind of like, I don't know. She's taking herself too seriously, it seems, and it's not working for me.
Yeah, no, and like that's reassuring to hear because I know that she dropped recently, but I just haven't heard anything about it, so it definitely makes a bit more sense on why that was the case.
Yeah, I just read an article by a critic named Stephen Hayden how he wrote about this is the year of memory hold albums. And it really, really hit hard because, like, yeah, this was one of the ones he mentioned, like how there's all these albums that have like this huge press release cycle when they come out, and then they're completely forgotten about 2 weeks later. Like Green Day dropped an album this year, and Beyonce's even album.
Yeah, I was about to bring up her. Like Beyonce dropped, and not many people are talking about it still.
Yeah, I mean, we can get into that because that was on my list as far as the not. Yeah. And you know, it's got some good elements, but and
for me it's just it just didn't, like, Renaissance was my favorite album the year it came out. Like, I think Renaissance is a fucking masterpiece when it comes to
that one's crazy good.
Current pop music. There's so many crazy like things about it. Whereas like this one I was excited because, you know, I love whenever any artist makes a shift in a genre or whatever, into a different genre that they're not too familiar with. Where I was like, Beyonce in country, fuck yeah. But unfortunately, even just from the singles that she dropped, I could already tell it wasn't gonna be my kind of thing. And the album didn't really like change my mind on that, where it just came out like, I just feel like there's not as many bold moves here as Renaissance, where if it wasn't marketed as a follow-up to that album, I feel like I would have been more okay with it. Where I feel like the hype definitely caused me to be a little bit more indifferent to it than I probably really have to be, because I haven't really gone back to it since the month it dropped.
Yeah. It's just like someone on Twitter at Mr. Howard, I have to credit, because it was kind of brilliant in a way that made sense to me. He said it was like U2's Rattle and Hum, which if you know Rattle and Hum, like just to sum it up, there on U2's Rattle and Hum, they literally just put Jimi Hendrix doing the Star Spangled Banner on as one of the tracks. It's like this really pretentious, messy, like ode to America and what it means to them. They also have a song on there called Hawk Moon 269. Nice. Because supposedly they literally mixed it 269 times before they finally were like, all right, now it's good. To me, that's what this album is. Like, it's so overcooked and overthought about that it's no longer fun. Some of the tracks are kind of boring. And also, like, granted, I do like that she gave shout outs to Dolly Parton, who, not that Dolly Parton needs more shout outs, but she also shouted out Linda Martell, who I would say definitely needs more shout outs. And then Willie Nelson, of course. And also Shabuzi he does his thing pretty well on there.
Yeah, I like his track a lot too.
Yeah, Spaghetti is probably my favorite song on there. And then also, it makes me happy to hear someone rapping over the pedal steel of I Fall to Pieces by Patsy Cline on Sweet Honey Buckin', like the opening part of that song. Yeah. So again, like, I really wanted to love it. I wanted it to be what I was told it was going to be.
Yeah, no, same.
It just wasn't. I mean, that's just absolutely that's all you can say about it. So we kind of shared that one. So you go ahead.
Yeah, so my last one would just be Diamond Jubilee by Cindy Lee. I did send a song from this album to Danny, and Danny said very awful transphobic slurs about the whole Cindy Lee's not even trans. but Danny wasn't the biggest fan. So that's why I was like, because it's not my favorite album of the year, but like it's probably third after Rich Ass Haitian and Wild Lord, because it's like probably the most I've listened to like a rock album in so long. It's just it's two discs where it's a lot of fucking music, and each song has something unique to it that just makes my heart feel all fuzzy, kind of like how MF Doom album used to feel, where it's a very unique feeling that the album captures and does a lot for me. And similar to Makami, you can't find this on any streaming. You're gonna have to fucking download a zipped folder full of WAV files, and then you're gonna have to find out Spotify doesn't play WAV files, but it's fine because you have Apple Music now. They play WAV files, but unfortunately, the WAV files don't even sound as good as they should on Apple Music. So now Diamond Jubilee is this thing I have to constantly work towards in order to enjoy.
Yeah. I did check it out a little bit. Like, I just kind of scanned through a few of the songs yesterday just because I figured you would bring it up. I kind of get like what it's going for. It's just I would need to set a day where I gave it a proper listen. Yeah. And what I have heard is like it's cool. Like, I would love to see them live just to get that experience.
What sucks is they canceled their tour because of how much exposure the album got.
Yeah, there was a lot of people talking about it.
Yeah, like as soon as the Pitchfork review came out where they called it literally the best rock album ever, basically, or at least in years. Like their tour stop in Chicago sold out, despite it was according to people I knew, it wasn't even that close to really selling out. The Pitchfork Review changed it that much, where on the day of that stop, they canceled the fucking concert, and like I had a couple buddies who were supposed to go there, and I remember thinking like, damn, that sucks, because I was so close to even thinking of buying an expensive used ticket, you know, where I wish Cindy Lee the best, and I, as someone who never wants to be famous, I don't blame you for canceling your tour after getting a B&M in today's landscape of online discourse.
Yeah, another release that kind of got some buzz from that, like that similar kind of genre, is the Vampire Weekend album. Did you check that out?
I keep forgetting to check that one out. I fucking love Vampire Weekend.
Okay, see, I like some of Vampire Weekend stuff, and this one was kind of like, it didn't really hit me. Again, I could have just been distracted while trying to listen to it, but yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of like, they're definitely hit or miss for me, and I felt the same way about this album.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just my taste. Granted, I love a lot of Vampire Weekend songs, but it's just, I guess I'm not into their albums as a whole.
Yeah, which I get.
And I haven't listened to their supposedly best one.
Yeah, because as much as I love their stuff, there's definitely, like I would say, on their album, there's always like a few weak stretches, which I find a lot of indie rock. I don't know why I felt the same way about Arcade Fire, LCD Soundsystem, like all those guys, where I just kind of think it's a weird thing with that whole era of music. But yeah. So where do we go from here?
So real quick, just a GMS, the Good Music Show roundup of artists that we've talked about and their new music.
Oh yeah,
Willie Nelson has an album out this year called The Border. It came out a few weeks ago. I really enjoyed it, especially because there's a lot of Trigger, his guitar playing on it. So that one's cool. The Mavericks had an album out this year called Moon and Stars with a feature from Sierra Farrell, who we just talked about.
Ooh.
That song is really great. And overall, that album is also pretty solid. Orville Peck has a interesting release strategy with his past two albums of releasing his albums piecemeal. So this year he's put out Stampede Volume 1, which, by the way, every song on there is really good. But my favorite is actually the one that features Allison Russell. It's called Chemical Sunset. Highly recommend that as well. And also features a Willie Nelson feature of them doing, it's not a song Willie wrote, but it's called Cowboys Are Frequently Secretly Fond of Each Other, which is kind of like a Brokeback Mountain style song of like, what'd you think all them saddles and boots are about? Like, you know, many cowboy has feelings for his brother that he just doesn't understand. So it's kind of like a gay cowboy song because Orville Peck is gay, and they sing it together really well. So it's definitely a cool project.
Yeah,
I just don't know how I feel about. I don't know how I feel about releasing an album as Volume 1 and Volume 2. Like, I don't know. It's
just drop it. I don't.
Yeah.
I think there was some artists, I can't remember who it was, but they like, oh yeah, no, it's Kevin Abstract, who like I like a lot, but that motherfucker pisses me off a lot. He had a solo album he needed to drop to help Brockhampton get off of their RCA. One of the worst contracts in rap history is Brockhampton's RCA contract, because they signed it, and I think they had to do like fucking 5 or 6 albums, which don't. Like, I don't need to go into why that's a bad idea, but in order to help them get out of that terrible contract, I think he was able to negotiate a solo album or something. And the solo album he dropped on that contract, it's a really good solo album. I like a lot of songs on it. He dropped it at first as 4 EPs. Where
that's kind of what Orville Peck did with his last
and like I just got after the second EP, I was just like, I'm just gonna hear their album. This is fucking ruining it for me, honestly, because like I won't even really be able to like hear it as an album by the time it's an album, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and Beach House did the same thing too, and I stopped as well with that. But yeah, the album's great though. That's probably one of their best albums they did that with.
And then we mentioned this Future and Metro Boomin. I finally finished We Still Don't Trust You, and it's insane how consistently good both of those are.
I need to still finish that one. I still haven't heard the second disc on that.
Yeah, it's still good. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah,
That's great to hear.
They just And also two more. We've got Kelsey Walden, who I mentioned on the track ones episode.
Yeah.
She's got a covers album out this year, which is really fantastic. And then Sarah Shook and the Disarmers have an album out called Revelations, which I also mentioned on the Sidelong episode. So definitely check all those out if you're interested in keeping up with the artists we've talked about.
Yeah.
And other than that, let's get into these 3 songs that we picked. Julius, do you want to go your 3 first?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, so the first one I picked is Floating on a Moment by Beth Gibbons, who, if you don't recognize Beth Gibbons, you either heard Mr. Morale, unlike Drake, and on the song that he's actually talking about, Beth Gibbons does the hook on it, Mother I Sober, where it's Mother I Sober. I mean, have you heard Mr. Morale, Denny?
Yes, it's been a minute, but yeah.
Yeah, like Mother I Sober is like the song before the outro. It's like a very devastating track because it's Kendrick talking about the sexual assault that his mother went through and learning that there's even more women in his family who had suffered sexual assault to the point where his mother thought that he could have been molested, you know, where it was that common in his family. And it's like dealing with like just the whole complexity, just like, you know, of dealing with that normalization and how that plays into their identity as Black women and stuff. And it's a very heartbreaking song. And Beth Gibbons does the hook on it, where that's a recent thing that you could recognize her for. And in terms of more popular things, she's the lead singer of Portishead, which is, you know, the famous, I don't really know what to refer to them as because they hate being called trip hop, but that's how they were introduced to me. And I personally like the genre name trip hop because the thing I love about Portishead, for example, is that their beats bang just as hard as like a Havoc beat on a Mobb Deep album, but they just have very, very sad vocals that make it trippy. So, you know, that's why I don't mind it that way. But if you like Portishead, you should run and check out this new Beth Gibbons album, Floating on a Moment. It's the second song on there, and she just has a singing voice that was meant to bring people to tears and make their hearts just pump and thump, you know? And the lyrics on this song especially are so rich in their abstractness. It can represent just a magnitude of sad stories that like many of us can relate to for our own experiences. And it just shows that she has not lost a step at all to just like make more and more powerful music. And what'd you think of this one, Danny?
I enjoyed it. I've never listened to Portishead. So in kind of like getting some context, I did listen to the full Lives Outgrown album, just kind of passively. I didn't like just one quick listen. And I enjoyed it. It's like not necessarily what I would gravitate to. What I did like was the more drummy tracks. Not to talk about what we just talked about with drums. Like I like the drums. Sorry.
I mean, what's funny is this album is getting that response because I don't blame it for this because Portishead does have some of the coolest fucking percussion ever. So that's why I kind of get it for this.
It's different. I did check out a handful of Portishead tracks, which were really cool. I need to dive into them.
Yeah.
But yeah, the song you picked, "Floating on a Moment," was probably like the best of the low key songs on the album. At least the one that stood out the most to me. It was really cool, and she's got a beautiful voice. Yeah, no, great stuff. And the second song I picked was "Another Season" by Frances Quinlan, the lead singer of Hop Along. Which have you ever heard of Hop Along, Danny? No,
you would like their stuff a lot. They're very folk rock, just very, very big sound. And Frances Quinlan, similar to Beth Gibbons, just an incredible voice. Not showcased as much here as like the stuff on Hop Along, but just like an enriching voice where if you never heard The Knock, stop listening to this podcast, play The Knock, and while you're at it, watch I Saw the TV Glow if you haven't yet, because this is from the soundtrack of it, and it's also the song that plays in the end credits. And it's able to just like remind me of something that I love about soundtracks and the really good soundtracks is just seeing how much music can be another tool to make a scene stronger, you know, like because films, you know, they can use editing, they can use lighting, they can use acting, they can use so many tools to like, you know, make a story beat hit even harder than it could if it was just forced to just be one of these many tools. And Another Season does a great encapsulation of what the film is dealing with, what the film is feeling, especially with its now infamous ending that I won't go into because I really do think people need to like see this beautiful film for itself. And Danny got the misfortune that I always do for him, which was to listen to the song without even watching the movie, probably. So, what did you think?
I really like this.
Yeah.
It's funny, like the opening riff really sounds like It's Been a While by Stained.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that, but like, I don't know. It was cool. Like the way it kind of juxtaposed like the dark and distorted sounds with the like the upbeat rhythm and you know their voice, which is like really wistful.
Oh, so I should have brought it up there. They don't pronouns.
Yeah, I think I read that, so that's why. Their voice is really, really cool, and it really goes well with the darkness and like the sounds on it are really cool.
Yeah, no, it's a very like I don't know, is the right word is delicate, but it's a voice that it sounds like it could break any second. Where it's a miracle to hear it like hold on to such a tone throughout the whole thing, you know. Which is why I definitely, I really hope you can check. I'll send you the hop along song I'm talking about because I think you would really like.
So
this stuff
does Francis Quinlan have an album coming out soon? Because this is just a single I noticed.
Oh, this is like I said, I think it was the song made for the movie.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, like the person who made the film, Jane Schronburn. I think I said the name right.
I see that.
They got a really good budget from A24 to make an original soundtrack for the film, so they went off and got a lot of cool artists. Where there was 3 songs from the soundtrack fighting for a spot on here, and this was the one that won at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I definitely enjoyed it. The way it kind of builds throughout is in just like almost 4 minutes is really cool.
Yeah, nah. And the last one I got for y'all is Grape Trees by Chief Keef on his new album, Almighty Soul 2, which similar to Rich Ass Haitian, I have been waiting on Almighty Soul 2 for quite a long fucking time. Like, I think, wait, what?
11 years, because that's when the first one came out.
Yeah. Chief Keef is like, he's generally like, if I really had to like think hard about it, he's probably my favorite rapper. Like, he's not like, because my thing is like a lot of people, they feel like their favorite rapper has to like mean something. They have to stand for something. Like your favorite rapper has to be Eminem because you went to war for this country. Or your favorite rapper is Kendrick because you believe in Black Power. Or your favorite rapper is Macklemore because you like thrift shops and supporting Palestinians, you know? Whereas like for me, I am just a simple person from Chicago. From
simple town.
Yeah, simple town. Small town. I'm a small towner from Southside Chicago, where
Middle America.
where Chief Keef's music has always been like the most exciting thing for me to listen to because it feels like I'm back home and I'm back in the mindset that I feel like you can only really like get when you grow up in Chicago. And so Almighty Soul 2 was a treat to listen to just in general because of like how much it shows his growth as an artist. Like not just in terms of music, but also emotionally, where there's like stuff he's tapping into on the album that I never thought Chief Keef would ever even want to talk about. But Grape Trees is not one of those songs. It's just a fucking banger that I love. It has like an intro, which I love. That songs
such a long intro.
It's a very long intro, but I love that shit because like it reminds me of old mixtapes where they would just fucking echo and build up momentum that isn't really necessary, but it gets you hyped up. And like it's a fun intro. It builds up a momentum that like Sosa and Sexy Red, who is featured on the track, just like live up to, in my opinion, where those two have a chemistry that I am just in love with. Like, I already love Sexy Red on her own, where if you haven't checked out her solo stuff, you're missing out. Like, she says it better than anyone else. She's the female Gucci Mane. So, like, if you like Gucci Mane, check out Sexy Red. If you like rap music, check out Sexy Red. But her on this track, it's like they're both made for each other. The incredible chemistry they have. Incredible verses. And, you know, if I was still a fuck boy who posted pictures of myself on Instagram every week, I would be able to use every line from this song as a caption. Like, literally, just all of it. Like, what is a groom? I ask myself this every day. What is it? Danny can't even say that anymore because he's married. You know?
I can't say that. Yeah, I'm a groom, bro.
But yeah, no. So the horns are great, too. I wish I was still somewhere where I could hang out with people who are in a marching band because I would just force them to do this song. But yeah,
I'm a wolf, so I walk around and growl at the moon.
Mantra.
It's so cool. I love this. I also listened to the whole album, And again, it's just like really solid. Like it's crazy how solid it is. And Chief Keef is one of the artists that I'm only kind of like, I only know through his hits. And because he's got such a huge discography that it's hard to find a starting point. But I'm glad I listened to it because in the last song, I'm Trying to Sleep. It's really funny too.
Yeah.
It reminds me of he should have had Todd Glass on there because one of Todd Glass's TikToks that kind of took off is he's pretending to be an Uber driver, and he like asks him like the passengers ask him, "Wait, you don't have a driver's license?" And his way out of it is like, "Can you keep it down? I'm trying to sleep," while he's driving. So it just kind of made me laugh even harder just picturing that. But yeah, so Chief Keef, he brought it. And I made a comment when we talked about Young Thug and in the song 2 Cup Stuff that I need like that, triumphant sound to come back. And Chief Keef, I can only assume he's been keeping it going like his whole time he's been doing it. Because that's what this album is. It's triumphant.
Oh yeah, like his music, it's you listen to his shit and you feel like you can literally take over the fucking world. That's why I love his stuff. It's like so inspiring. Where
really.
And this song is like it's the horns and the drums, which I mean we're already talking about drums for so much, but like they literally it feels like his Ableton is fucking glitching or something to the extent where like there's this one insane drum roll in the middle of Sexy Red's verse that I am just obsessed with because
Hoes always hating on me, what the fuck did I do? Is you mad cause I look better and I'm fresher than you? It's almighty and big.
It makes her like it showcases how good of a rapper she is that she can still maintain a rhythm over a difficult as like this beat isn't necessarily difficult, but there's like drum rolls that I'm like I will be lost on. Anyone should be lost on,
Yeah, and he produced it.
Yeah, he produced like the whole album, which is a first for him in a while because he's been producing his own stuff for a minute, but he has great taste in beats on his own. Where he dropped this is his second album this year, where he dropped a collab tape with Michael Almeida earlier this year. That's also really good.
Yeah.
The best song on it is a snippet, which is why I'm sad about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Where I was fighting whether or not to have this song just because I kind of figured this is the kind of thing that Danny would love as well. Like,
yeah, I definitely took to it.
Baby mama wish I died, but baby, what if it's true? Baby, you gonna be fucked up and you ain't gonna know what to do.
It's a great kind of like, I mean, not like necessarily introduction to Chief Keef because I know his big songs, obviously, like I Don't Like and Love Sosa and Hate Being Sober. But yeah, this was like it was cool to see that, like, because those were like 10 years ago at this point. So it's glad to see
he was a child, like 15, where it's inspiring to see a guy who's about to be 30 in a few years still make something that sounds so fucking fresh and so inventive.
Yeah, as an adult, I'm about to turn 21. I can only look forward. No, I'm about to turn 32, so it's cool
30 by the way, not 32.
Oh yeah, 30 also, yeah. But yeah, this it's a classic Julius 3-song playlist. Like, you got to end it with Chief Keef, and after you've cried to Beth Gibbons, and you've I don't even know what you would do to Francis Quinlan song, but
jerk off, I guess. That's dumb.
Well, the movie thing. There you go. That's your perfect. It perfectly matches your personality. You got a song.
Yeah, I got a letterbox. I got over 700 likes because I made a joke review for Twin Peaks: The Return.
Your biggest credit.
It's terrible. I want to die. But Danny has an amazing 3-song playlist that we should go into. I'm excited to talk about as well.
Okay, good. Yeah, because I started it off with a bit of a bang with Horror of It All by Aaron Lee Tazjan. I'm not sure how to say that last name exactly. What'd you think of this track?
I fucking love it. Like, I love the, because speaking of, like, music that sounds like it's glitching, I love the transition from the chorus into whatever, I guess it's like a bridge or whatever. Because it's so,
it sounds like
it's so instant that I feel like it's skipping time for me. Like, I'm like suddenly 3 seconds forward in life. Where, I mean, it's a really dope synthy rock song that just bangs and grooves, where that one little detail stood out to me so much where I was just like, yeah, I'm into it. And the vocalist is nasally, even better. Like, I love all the vibes that this is like going for right here.
Yeah. I definitely try to cater my playlist towards your taste a bit, just to give you. I wanted to bring the heat for sure, but so the album is really great as well. I'll say it's like the horror of it all is kind of like the peak as far as the energy goes, but the album has those synthy sounds all over it, and to be honest, like when I first heard it, I am weird. I have Sirius XM for some reason, even though it's really expensive. But I really like listening to Outlaw Country and Willie's Roadhouse. One gives me history lessons on the history of country music, and the other keeps me updated with the genre that I gravitate to the most. Keeps me, with the new music. And so when I first heard this song, I heard it because it was like the first single from the album. I was like, oh, this is just another song. Like a lot of people have kind of done we're going to do like a 80s synthy throwback sound. Like even artists I like, Lucius has an album that's kind of like a throwback. And even like The Weeknd's album with Blinded by the Lights, where it's kind of got that like the Uncut Gems produced, like the music guy who did that. So I was like, okay, this is another person doing like a synthy throwback change of pace album. But like the hook of it and the lyrics like being so like simple, but so like piercing as far as like the horror. Yeah, there's horror of just life, or growing up as like a gay kid. It really hit me and smacked me across the face. And the whole album, I will say, is great. And I'm not fully like, I don't know a lot of Aaron's music, but I know he's typically in the kind of like arty, folky vein of like, kind of like what Dylan would do if he grew up as a, adult now, I think he's even got a song on the album called Dylan Shade. So he's very songwriter focused, but also kind of throwing in weird sounds and stuff like that. So definitely recommend Stellar Evolution, the album that this song is on.
Oh yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to check out more of it because like this song is
Yeah.
a hell of an intro into his style.
Yeah. There's a great song on there called I Love America Better Than You, which the first line goes, I love America better than you. It's dirty water and it's hot dogs too. So yeah, some good social commentary and, dealing with your sadness type music. So definitely recommend it. So we can go on to the next song, Circle K by Easy Tiger.
Yeah. Which I really love this one. It's very confident. It's full of a lot of catchy mantras where I love the energy in it. Is Easy Tiger, is she just solo artist or is this like a band?
It seems like it's a duo band, as far as I know. I really don't know much about them. I think they're fairly new. I found out about this band from I Enjoy Music, the blog that if you've been reading my carefully crafted episode descriptions, you know that I wrote a guest blog for I Enjoy Music about Willie Nelson, which, hey, if you're out there and you want to do music writing, I think the call to guest blog submissions is open. So go check out I Enjoy Music if you want to. You'll get paid. You get paid $50. So that ain't nothing to sneeze at. For a completely
which is more than
independent.
More than what most people would give you for writing. That's more than I think even fucking. I won't name people, but yeah.
Yeah, but I really like what Molly Mary O'Brien. She's running this I Enjoy Music and always finding new ways to talk about music that's fun, engaging, and it covers the pop, what's going on, but it also covers, smaller artists, independent artists that, they need all the love they can get. So that's why I kind of wanted to feature this song, which immediately was awesome to me. Like as soon as I hear that saxophone solo, I was hooked. Well, actually, I was hooked when the first line goes, I spent all my money at the Circle K on Arnold Palmer and Ice. I love a good Arnold Palmer. That's what I usually go for when I'm at a gas station looking for a drink. So definitely a cool, fun song from a band that's just getting started relatively, but I listened to their EP. It's pretty cool through and through. So I definitely recommend that.
It's good shit. And also we love a gas station song.
Yeah, we do.
Gas stations are very homely to me.
Yeah, they've got a vibe that's uniquely American.
Yeah.
Going to the gas station.
I don't even drive. I just like chips. I like a little snack.
Yeah.
I like a place to hang out at that they're not allowed to necessarily kick me out.
Yeah. A good fountain soda or a hot dog on a roller.
Yeah. Or a bathroom that's always sorry.
Yeah. A wet bathroom.
Wet bathroom.
So my last song is Right Back to It by Waxahachie. This is
bless you.
So I have a little bit of familiarity with Waxahachie. I actually saw her in the band open for Jason Isbell and Sheryl Crow. And to be quite honest, like I checked out some of the music in advance of the show and then a little bit after, and it was all good, but it didn't really grab me. But this song sure grabbed me because I could listen to this song on loop more than any other song this year.
Yeah,
just that banjo riff in the background is just like addicting. Or banjo riff, excuse me. It's just really catchy. And you know, the album Tiger's Blood, I'm a little bit mixed on. I think I need to like give it another couple listens to see if it grows on me a bit. Yeah, but there is definitely a lot of good songs on it, and but Right Back to It is the standout for me. I mean, it's the lead single.
And like it's always dope when artists you like or artists that you like end up giving you a song that you can really like love and sink your teeth into. Because like I've heard of Waxahachie like a while ago. I can't remember for what, but it's definitely like a song that I was into through a mutual that they gave me, where I was excited to like see them on this playlist, and I was even more excited to just hear this song. Like I've been like it's probably the one I listen to the most from the playlist, just because it's something like Danny said, you keep it on loop. Very lovely melodies and vocals. Like I could work through my entire day with a smile on my face listening to this fucking song.
Yeah, it's really great. And I think the MJ Lenderman and their voices go really well together. He kind of does like the harmony on the chorus. But yeah, it's just like, I really love her, you know, for lack of a better word, flow or phrasing of the words. It's almost like, it's kind of like rap in a way where like the words, like they have a rhythm to them and you kind of get caught off guard with what she's saying.
Yeah, no, definitely. Where like it keeps your ear waiting to see where it's going to take you around the corner.
Yeah, there's one line in particular. Oh, jealous eye. She says, "Burning up an old flame, turn a jealous eye." When you hear it, it almost sounds like she's saying genocide.
Yeah,
which like because like the way she's talking, it's very like almost rhythmic rather than delivering the line straight, and so it makes you want to like know what she's saying. Because honestly, it's a really catchy like poppy song, but when you dive into the lyrics, they're pretty deep. They're pretty biting and personal and reflecting on your bad decisions and stuff like that. So
it's
very
a really
good
gorgeous
stuff.
track. Where
I know the album is widely praised, so maybe I'm being a little controversial or contradictory to the common opinion that everyone seems to love Tiger's Blood. I like a lot of it, definitely, but it's not quite my favorite of this year. But this song is easily one of my favorites. It's just one of those songs. So
it's a gorgeous track, and it's like able to use like its brief lyricism in such an expressive way. Where like my favorite line was "lick a wound that was not ever mine," because that just like tells a whole story on its own. Which like I think. Really strong songwriters can just like be some of the best like short storytellers, you know, where it definitely makes me want to like dig into more of her music, and also be one of the many people who will yell at Danny for underrating this album.
Fast swerving and out of my lane, burning up an old flame, turning jealous eye. I'll fall down into a fair game, lick a wound that was not ever mine. I get ahead of myself. So long, come right back to it.
Yeah, I might get yelled at. But she's canceled because there was a headline where she said that she's something like mining the good stuff out of the South, like extracting the gold. I don't know what it was. there was a day where like
Daniel Plainview. I'm an oil man.
I don't know. That's none of my business. That's just old Twitter news. But I don't know. I definitely like her overall. And you can't like this song will always be like a 2024 moment for me because on all my playlists. I make new playlists throughout the year. It's going to make it the cut on all of them. So,
Yeah, it's on mine currently as well. So if you like playlists. Also, I think I said it's the last episode. Maybe by the next episode we record, I will be putting a playlist on with music. I had a busy fucking week, okay? So anybody who's whiny say, hey, I like the Good Music Show, but I don't want to support Spotify. I like giving artists 10 more cents than they would. So put them on Apple Music. I'm working on it. And I'll let Danny know as soon as possible.
I saw someone today say, like, make a joke that they're switching to Apple Music because there was like 5 of your personalized Spotify playlists, and they're like, standing on business playlist, Riz playlist.
Riz mix.
Yeah, maybe, Riz mix. We wish you a merry Riz mix. But I think on that note, we can wrap it up. So I don't know. You said 24 has been a good year for music. I think it's pretty good, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just biased because I really liked 2023.
I'm definitely biased because I'm talking purely from like a rap standpoint. But 2023 was strong as well. I was just more like shocked by like how front loaded it's been because I kind of like have lost count of how many like rap albums I loved. I didn't even get a chance to bring up another one I loved, which was Vince Staples' latest album, where I'm just excited to see what more the year will bring when it comes to that, when it comes to this genre especially.
Yeah. But one thing's for sure, there's a lot of good stuff out there, and we're going to cover not all of it because that would be
you can
impossible.
Oh yeah. Also, we forgot to bring up album of the year, the Tortured Poet fan club. Yeah.
It's fire.
It's fire. It came out one day before 420 because she knew that we would need a hot box going into 420. Like
you
if
don't
you
fully
put on,
understand it if you're not blazed.
If you put on Daddy I Love Him at 11:56 p.m., you will be high as shit by the time you go. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just
sync it up to the Wizard of Oz and move on.
Oh, fuck. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We appreciate it. And send us shit that you like from this year if you didn't hear anything or if you're mad at us about what we said about Beyonce, for example. Send us death threats. And thank you for checking us out.
Yeah, thank you. Goodbye.
I don't have a driver's license, but I've never been in an accident, so...
Well, like you never had one, or you just didn't renew it, or?
How did Uber allow you to sign up?
Well, you work for Uber, right?
Guys, can you keep it down? I'm trying to sleep.
Sauce, baby. I ain't got cheese, I just made $1 million last week. Chief my league when out my stone brought his merch on cheap. Leave out a deal of paper in my hand, it's not a lease. Black orange Forgiatos on the Rams, trick or treat. Say she wanna eat me, told that bitch my dick is not a treat. Bitch, loud and truck, my dick said shut up, bitch, I'm trying to